Now you should find that the method of comparing square is hard, right? So in this page, we are going to see how the calculator can help you to find an easier way to do your comparing square. Before we start, so let's take a look or recall what's the format of Vertex form first. So it's in the form of y is a x minus h bracket square plus k. And you will see that a normally can be copied from the ABC form, while the key to write this format is you need to know the vertex, so which we call hk in the previous part. With the help of your calculator, you can write the vertex form. So take time to enter your program in your calculator. So for example, we call program 1. In the program, it helps you to solve the equation ax squared bx plus c equal to 0. But now when we come to quadratic function, and then we can still use the program and then entering ABC to get the favorable outcomes. For example, when you use the program 1, first of all, you enter the button program 1, and then you enter the a, the value of a, exe, b, exe, and c, exe. The program next will return you 5 values. They are, first one, you've got h. Second one, we've got k. So this is the trick we are going to use to help us to write or use the method of comparing square. The third value will be the delta. In your calculator, you can also see the formula b squared minus 4ac displayed in your calculator. Wow, it helps you to remember the formula in a very good way. Fourth, it is the root when you are talking about solving equation. Fifth, you should have another root. So the fourth and fifth values tells you the roots of a quadratic equation, ax squared plus bx plus c. Now we are going to see how the first two values, h and k, helps you to do comparing square. And now we go to example 12 to see how it works. First of all, in this question, you will see the value of a is 1. And the next, in your calculator, you try to enter 1, minus 8, and 15, and see what are the values of h and k. Let's take a short while to do so. Alright, you should have now got 4 minus 1 for the values of hk. What does that mean? That means when you are talking about y is x squared minus 8x plus 15, at last, when you have completed the method of comparing square, you should be in the form of a, which is 1, x minus something squared, where the value is the value of h, now is a 4. You have plus k, that means it's minus 1 for the answer. Is it the answer of vertex form? Yes, definitely. But now we've got the problem. How can we write the steps? Because we actually didn't do the method of comparing square, but just using the calculator to write the answer. So the little trick is you should try to write the steps out from the end, that means the answer, to the front. And now we try to write the steps in this way. Because you know the answer is bracket x minus 4 squared minus 1. By expansion or identity, you have x squared minus xx plus 16 and then minus 1. And then further up, you have y is x squared minus xx plus 16 minus 1. So it can be treated as the steps of method of comparing square. Is it very tricky and easy to use? I think so. And then so the little trick is, by using identity, you see the number 15 is kind of like broken down into 16 minus 1, which the first number 16 helps you to do comparing square, which gives you x minus 4 bracket square, while the value of minus 1 is left behind at the end, which is the value of k. Is it magical? Next, we try to, how about we do last one, part C, but sorry, the letter C is missing. B, I think you should be capable to do so, and you can take it as an exercise. Now we come to have a look on the question, part C, minus x squared, minus x plus 5. And then, so first job is, you see A is minus 1, and then now take a short while to get your values of HK from your calculator program. Okay, so it should be minus half and also 21 over 4, which means your answer should be y is a first, which is a negative sign, negative 1, bracket square with x minus in the brackets. Now the h is minus half, so that's why it goes to plus 1 over 2 here in the brackets. K is 21 over 4, so this is the answer of after the method of completing square. Now our job is to write or pretend we have some steps to obtain it, and then you have to do identity minus brackets, which is x squared plus 2ab give you plus x, b squared, which is 1 over 4. Outside the brackets you have 21 over 4. One more step, you have y is minus x squared minus x minus 1 over 4 and plus 21 over 4. So it's well enough to say you complete the method of completing square by breaking down 5 into minus 1 over 4 and plus 21 over 4. So I hope you can use this little trick by using calculator to get HK and to complete the method of completing square, especially you're not that good in identity. Finally, you have to read the question carefully because sometimes we just need the vertex form, but sometimes we need to find the vertex. So that's why you still need to write down vertices. So for the part A is 4 and minus 1, while for part B is minus half and 21 over 4. Okay, so then you have to do some exercise in the textbook to get familiar with this very special method. Coming up next, we try to see some other question, or to see how the question will look like that is actually asking you to use method of completing square. The keywords will be, you see the question is about finding maximum value, minimum value. So once you see this word, especially when you're talking about quadratic, then make sure that it should be about method of completing square. So as a result, we try to take a look in example 13 while I leave example 14 as your work. Okay, so let's start. So first of all, in this question is A is minus 1. Then use your calculator to see what is HK. Okay, so you've got minus 2 and 11. What actually the meaning of maximum value? That means it's about the value of K. If you forget it, go back to the previous videos to revise the idea about optimum value, which refers to maximum and minimum value. And so now let's start the question. It's minus x squared minus 4x and plus 7. Your final outcome of the vertex form should be A is minus 1, brackets x minus something squared. You've got minus 2 as h, so that's why it becomes plus 2. You've got k is 11, so that's why it's plus 11. Now we try to fall back to get the answer by expanding my answers, which is minus, after identity is a squared, plus 2ab, that means 4x, plus b squared, that means plus 4, and plus 11. You further break down the brackets, you've got minus x squared, minus 4x, minus 4, plus 11. Then you complete the steps and also the answer in order to get the vertex form. And finally, you say, oh, okay, that's the maximum value which is the value of k, that means it's 11. Okay, that's all. Please take a minute or a few minutes to complete example 14 by yourself.